How often are you hitting the gym? 3 times a week? Maybe 4 or 5? Now, let me ask you, are you doing that because someone told you that was the magic number? Or is it because you actually know what works for your body, your goals, your lifestyle? Hang tight, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to turn that very question on its head. What if I told you that the best answer for how often should a 50-plus-year-old man or woman lift weights, it isn't a number, but more like a strategy? Let's dive in. Hi, I'm Simon H., Muscle After 50 coach, and I've been building muscle for well over 40 years. So in that time, I've seen some fads come and go, myths get busted, and countless people wasting time doing what someone else told them was the best, without knowing why. Simply saying, go to the gym 3 times a week doesn't mean a damn thing if your objectives and the steps to get there aren't crystal clear. If your goal is to build muscle after 50 and strength for longevity and vitality, you've got to play by the rules of the game, especially as we age. Those rules matter more than ever. Why? Because recovery, intensity, and smart programming are the real MVPs, not how many hours you grind it out in the gym. First of all, let's address the newbie lifter, the novice. Welcome to the iron game. The good news? Your body is primed to grow. As a newbie, you can make progress with just 2 to 3 days of full body workouts per week. Keep it simple and focus on compound movements like your squats, your bench press, your rows, and deadlifts. Why? Because these exercises hit multiple muscle groups, giving you the best bang for your buck. You see, beginners recover faster and don't need to use anywhere close to the intensity that an advanced lifter would use, which means they can get away with a lot more at first. But once those newbie gains dry up, progress will come through consistency, hard and smart programming, recovery. It won't come from how many hours you put in the gym. Now let's talk to those 50-plus-year-old experienced and advanced gym warriors amongst us who bang the iron 4 or 5 times a week. I've got a question for you. If you could get the same or even better results by going to the gym less, would you do it? Or would the act of going to the gym be almost too addictive? Now drop your thoughts in the comments because I'm really curious. I used to come from a world of training 5 and 6 days a week. Okay, so now we're going to get into what I do after 42 years of lifting weights. And here is the key. Everything stems from intensity of effort and progressive overload, because these 2 factors drive muscle growth. But this becomes really important as we age. As we age, we have to tie those 2 features together with recovery, volume, and frequency. Let me explain. As I'm not on TRT or steroids, to build muscle using intensity of effort and progressive overload, I need to be able to fully recover between workouts, which takes naturally longer, so I can safely progress in either weight used or the repetitions. For me, this means training a muscle group once every 8 days. Yes, you heard me right. I train a muscle group once every 8 days, and in fact, I only lift weights twice every 8 days. And at 50 plus, injuries and needlessly spinning my wheels by doing extra training sessions is something I can do without. My training method? It's a hybrid between slow motion high intensity training and rest pause sets. Here's what it looks like. I split my muscle groups into 2 workouts. Workout 1, it's lower body, chest, and triceps. Workout 2, it's shoulders, back, biceps, and forearms. For each major muscle group, I will do 2 exercises. After a warm-up, I start with what I call an activation set, with a 10-second up and a 10-second down cadence. I'm aiming for a rep target of 3 to 4 reps to failure, and that's dependent on the muscle group, which gives me around 60 seconds of time on detention. After 10 seconds rest, I do 2 to 3 rest pause sets of 5 normal repetitions, with just 10 seconds rest between each of those rest pause sets. The slow motion high intensity set helps me to safely activate the muscle fibers responsible for muscle growth without using momentum, which not only exhausts the muscle fibers, but helps me to avoid joint strains and injury, but also, more importantly, conditions the muscle and gives it better endurance. Now, within 10 seconds of finishing the set, I'm using an advanced rest pause protocol, which allows me to ride the wave of my slow motion high intensity set, and in less than 2 minutes, put my muscles under more tension than someone doing 4 traditional working sets. This combination taxes the muscles deeply, but effectively. The results? I need those 8 days to recover fully. And with proper recovery, I can progress in weight or reps in 4 out of the 6 training weeks. Now, when I tried to train with high intensity, progressive overload, frequency, and more volume, I found myself hitting a wall. And I weren't just hitting a wall, I was sailing close to injury, and I had thumping loads more fatigue. So when somebody asked me, well, how many times a week do you lift weights? Well, I lift weights twice every 8 days. But more importantly than that, in between those 2 workouts, I will come back to the gym and do a functional training session, which has nothing to do with being focused on intensity or building muscle, but very much focus on functionality. Things like my core strength, core stability, working those little muscle groups that you wouldn't work necessarily or directly work in a training session. Things like your lower traps, very important for posture. I work on balance, working in different planes of motion. All of those things come in really handy, especially for men and women over 50. Doing one functional training session is super important. Then my next session is more of a mobility workout. Again, I'm not after building muscle, but I kind of look at it like it's an active recovery session. So I'll do things like I will mobilize shoulder, rotator cuff, scapula, thoracic spine, hips. I will try and activate and open up my glutes, my adductors, all of those sort of things. Things that you can quite easily miss out if you're focused solely on building muscle. So how many times should a 50-year-old lift weights? My answer, as often as it takes to make progress. No more or no less. So for a beginner, that might be 2 to 3 times a week. For a seasoned pro like myself, that may just be twice every 8 days. But the key that unlocks the door for progress and longevity is knowing your goal and training with intensity and giving your body the time it needs to recover. You want to build muscle after 50? You've got to play the long game. Train smart, recover hard, and let your progress do the talking. Now, I want to hear from you. How many times a week do you train? I'm really curious. Drop a comment and tell the world what you do, and are you progressing?
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement.
When you download our free cheat sheet, not only will you discover the secrets to transforming your body and your life in your 50s faster than you ever imagined, you'll also discover how to gain muscle in your 50s. This will shock you, not only because of how easy it is, but the speed at which you'll see results. You'll also find how to lose weight in your 50s. We'll reveal the method that completely flips everything you thought you knew on its head. No fad diets, no grueling cardio sessions. And if you've been feeling like a dead car battery, It's time to get your energy back. We'll show you how. Now, the link for this free cheat sheet is in the description.